Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay
everyone?
calm.
What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody just calm down!
Help!
Here,
Oh,
take my hand.
come on!
You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me!
Take it! Take my
I hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' round the bend.
Morning. Good morning, everybody. little fresh this morning. How are you all doing? If you're doing well. I have two drawing gloves today. Which one will I use? I use the stretched out one. What's going on in your world? Hello world. Darth Bancroftus. Yes, it's very cold. It was hard to get out of bed. I got out about half an hour later than I probably should have. And it's still warming up, so that's what's going to be. Did I even set up a Rumble? I did. Excellent. Whew. I was lucky. Yeah, I have to set these up the night before, and I came out. It was absolutely bucketing down. I got drenched just walking out to the to the cottage. It says, I'll use the stretch out one. Well, Rod makes it work. Fine, I'll use the tighter one. How about that? I thought I'd lost that. The reason it's tight is because I thought I'd lost it. I think it was in a pocket somewhere in a coat. And I haven't used it in a while. I need to get new ones. These are a bit worse for wear. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, it was raining. It was freezing. I had to come out here and make this glorious thumbnail of Ella showing us all her secret bits. Who says there's no not safe for work Ella out there? Rod has filled this book. He's made it replete with panty shots. But it'll be like black with black, so it'll be very tasteful. Who's here? Who's joined us here this morning? Let's have a look. Thank you for being here, by the way. You could be anywhere else, but you decided to hang out with me and watch me flat, which is the most exciting part of the comic book making process. Skibidi Rizzler came in first. That means you get the honor, good sir. Oh, I've got to load up the logo. Everything's starting a bit slow this morning, including me. There he is. And he's in. Excellent. We also have Creative WM. What's up in the chat? Megatonic Audio. Thought he was going to be first for sure today. Incorrect, good sir. But very close. Very close. We've got to figure out what to do with the music you've made me. I don't know. Everyone is releasing little records. I don't have a record player. What am I going to do with that? I'm going to figure something out. You know what? I'd love to do a motion comic, but ain't nobody got time for that. We got Happy Jack Savanka in the house. Great to see you here. Jav Styler, or should I say Yav Styler? No, let's not do that. I want to taste you like yogurt. We've got Mr. Mo Biggs in the house. Hail. The Uber Wrench. There's Citizen Ronan complaining about the flatting, saying it's going to put him to sleep. Well, you know, it's all about the conversations you have along the way. That's what I find. We've got Cranberry Langus here. We have Darkside is Comics. And thank you very much for sharing that awesome art that I shared on the art share yesterday. We have Yang Yan Zhao. Says afternoon. Where are you where it's the afternoon? Is it afternoon in America? Raiden Radio is here. Yes, I am indeed. Darth Bancroftus. The Bogan Lord. Where's that video? I still have that video. I haven't played that in forever. It's got to be around here somewhere. I wouldn't delete it. Oh, here it is.
The Bogan force is too strong upon us. Our spirit is broken.
The Bogan is strong with you, but not nearly strong enough.
I am Lord Darth Vader, First Knight of the Sith, and right hand to His Eminence Prince Esper Valorum, the Master of the Bogan.
Let's see how you go with a can of beer up your exhaust pipe, mate.
I forgot how to take down the video. God, my mind is like molasses at the moment. It's 11 p.m. where Darkseid is and 2 p.m. where Mo is. Probably on opposite sides of the world, I'm going to guess. Darkseid, I believe, is in Europe. Mo is on the West Coast. We have Student of God in the house. Hello, hello. Bancroft could place the racist Ella panel in any loosened book on a billboard in Saudi Arabia with no edits needed. Yes, that's how you know you're walking the line. Bancroft in the hood. He's like, don't do that. Don't do that. I was exaggerating, Mo. All right. Did I say hello to Henry Bemis? I hope I did. He's in the Netherlands. Nederlander. All right. Bancroft is very popular in Dubai. Wow, I hope so. I would love a rich Saudi benefactor to just drop a cool 10 mil on me and say, make your comic. Make it exactly how you want it. And I would say, I will. I am. Abdul. Have you guys seen that? Oh my God, I have been. There's a video I've watched that someone, I think Jimmy Kimmel put it together of all people, which is funny because I think they're dunking on Trump, but I think it is the funniest shit I've ever seen, and I love it. And I was like, you watch it and you're like, oh my God, that's so good. How could you not want this man as president again? I gotta play it for you. It's so good. Hold on a sec. All right. Before we get into some flatting, Bancroft attracted many a Dubai sugar daddy after the word got out that he banged Camel. That nasty rumor. Darkseid is loving Rod Looper's art. Yes, yes. Absolutely. He'll become your benefactor, but you'll have to join his harem. You know, there's certain lines I won't cross. Let me show you this. It's so good. After you watch this, I can say, how can you not love Trump?
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead.
The United States launched a targeted operation against that compound.
They did a lot of shooting and they did a lot of blasting, even not going through the front door. You know, you think you go through the door. If you're a normal person, you say, knock, knock, may I come in?
After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
He died like a dog.
But his death does not mark the end of our effort.
A beautiful dog.
We give thanks for the men who carried out this operation.
And I don't get any credit for this, but that's okay. I never do. But here we are.
May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
And I'm writing a book. I think I wrote 12 books. All did very well.
And I'm writing a book. I wrote 12 books. All did very well. That's my Trump. I can't do Trump. You have to do an accent and a voice at the same time. It's too difficult. Some of those impersonators out there are pretty crazy, though. Pixar, it didn't happen, says Mo. Which one? Abu Bahir, whatever, Baghdadi, or Bin Laden? It's so good. He died like a dog. A beautiful dog. Alrighty. What are we doing? What's going on in this page? So we saw this guy on the last page. Oh, snap. I got to show you this. I keep getting distracted. Hold on a sec. So after the last one we did, you remember, I could probably open that up. I haven't actually continued to work on that page. I'm trying to give you a new page every time because I just know otherwise it'd just be so much more riveting. Remember this guy down here, yeah? Look at his face. So Jasper was in the chat last week when we were working on this. He sent me a picture that is just in his YouTube recommendations. Check it out. Again, Trump related. I don't know. I'm not trying to make it a theme or anything, but he said, check out my recommendations after your stream. That is spooky. Is that not spooky? I mean, the only difference other than he's wearing a brick suit is slightly different part of the beard here. Everything else is bang on. It's like Rod peered into the future to see this man on Tim Pool. Very, very spooky indeed. But hey, that's why I said we live in interesting times where life imitates art and art imitates life. All right, I'll finally get to it. What am I sharing here? What am I sharing? Oh, yeah, that. Citizen Ronan says, no, I blocked the last one out of my mind. Well, get ready to be enthralled by a whole new page of exciting flats. Now, what am I doing? Okay, I gotta get my bearings here. So that we're gonna need something new. It's gonna go over there. Put that there. And I think I've been making these black. I'm pretty sure I have been. So let's just continue with that. The backgrounds, the whatever they're called. I just need to check all my tools again as well, that they're all anti-aliased, because I have been working on photos at work. Good. Okay, so creepy old man is Biden analog? Oh, God, no. And he's not creepy. You just wait until you read the book. It's getting very close now. They've only got half of the Painted Death hardcover left to print. They had to pause it because we needed to make some last adjustments on the print file that we didn't notice. So there's a slight delay there. But I think everything else is printed. I think they're just waiting to send them all together, which should be a fun unpacking experience whenever that arrives. I hope they ring beforehand before they didn't just bring them over. It's going to be, this whole cottage is just going to be full of books. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be like a maze. Phil Anselmo says, what's up, my ninjas? What's up is we're working on comic books. I've decided that you know what people want in YouTube? What people really want is to watch the process from woe to go, from start to finish. So that's what we're going to be. That's what I'm doing. See you, Dark Side. You have a good night's sleep up there in Netherlands. Mo says the panties in Painted Death are genuine baby goat skin, making naughty grandpa a kid's. No. Incorrect. Bricksuit has been around a while, says Mo, out there in the ether. Well, yeah, I guess I took that idea without even knowing it. Gotta get up your. Oh, shout out to the Rumble gang as well. If anyone's watching, I don't know if anyone is. They are. Holy crap! We got 5 people over there. Fantastic. Hail Rumblers. We got Phil, Zaid Comics. Phil, would you be against me doing a read through of The People tomorrow? I know it's new, but I don't know. I know I love the first one. I haven't read the second one yet, but I probably wouldn't have time to do Lost Pages 3. And I don't know if you want me to do that, because it's like, but I know a lot of people didn't get The People. So I thought, I'll reread the first one, and then do the second one as well, because I want to get back to doing read-throughs. It's been too long. I did love The People, so hopefully I'll like the second one. He says, "Do it, I dare you." Mo says, "The people demand the people." Phil says, "Drawstrings, art strings are great." They can be. They also can be a little tedious, like mine. But my point is, comic book creating is tedious at times. It's not all just, awesome drawings of Batman. It's never awesome drawings of Batman when I'm involved. But you gotta. Well, there's this cool panel here. I'm kind of ruining it. He's got these cool lines here, but I don't see any other way around that. I think I'm gonna go with black. Make it blacker, because it's just like cool, Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. Get back into talking books. I'm trying to one of the big headaches of doing a stream for so long is thinking of things to stream about, and by coming up with kind of a schedule, it takes a little bit of the pressure off, and it forces me to actually read more books, which is something I otherwise wouldn't do. But if I say no, it's for the show, then I have an excuse for myself. All right. Yeah, I think it looks better with black borders. I think it's a night scene. I usually do night scenes in black anyway, so black edges. Alrighty then. Raiden says we're covering Jupiter on the Gutter tomorrow night. Reread it. It's fantastic. I don't know if I've read Jupiter yet. I think I started. I've got a whole list, but that sounds good. I've got a whole bunch of books just sitting there. I did start one yesterday that I'm not enjoying at all, but I feel like I should read it. Otherwise, they just sit there forever and nothing. Why even buy them if you're never going to read them, Even as busy as I am. Bancroft needs to turn Nugget into Captain OG. Readmore style mascot to encourage him to read. The thing is, I love reading. Books, comics, whatever. I do love it. It's just, I think about how long it's going to take to color this or do other art pieces that I need to do or whatever. And I always pick that. Always. We've got Valley Law in the house. What's up, Valley Law? Hope you are doing well. So here we see Ella. Oh, did you see I made the hat rounded? Slightly more British boarding school than Carmen Sandiego. Slightly. I'm sure Rod won't mind my slight alterations to his work there. You know, I actually used the warp tool, so I didn't redraw it necessarily. I like pushed it and bent his art because I wanted to keep the same texture. Oh, that's not her finger. She doesn't have a gigantic thumb coming out of the back of her hand. Katie, morning, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in this wonderful world of ours, this crazy upside down world we're all living in. We clearly all died at some point and we're living in a simulation. There's no other explanation for it. Has anyone been following the Olympics? So in Paris, in France, they thought, you know what we're going to do the first official act to kick off the Olympics is we're going to have a dude and a drag queen start the torch race. Who could have ever imagined that drag queens would be the quote unquote minority that was most pushed by institutions? That was not on my bingo card, that's for sure. And then the Australian bicycle team weren't even there a day. They came from the airport. They had hired a van. And, being from Australia, they think, oh, everywhere's safe. This is a Western country. Thankfully, they take all their bikes up to the hotel room, but they leave all their bags with everything else in the van and go to sleep down on the street. And, of course, Paris being Paris, the van gets completely smashed into and all the bags take not even a day. It's like, welcome to Paris. Did you not know? No, he says, there haven't been so many drag queens in the Olympics since the fall of the USSR. Cranberry Langan says, they need that BlackRock money. So Ella is standing up to this gigantic man. I love the scale Rod did. Like, this dude, it's like he's like the Hulk compared to her. Like the scale of that's actually really great. The scale of her small hand and wrist against this guy's gigantic hairy hand. But she pulls away, and all these guys are like, who does this idiot think she is? And then the butt kicking begins. Raiden says, at least it's consistent with ancient Greece. He is correct. Although I think they were just naked, weren't they? Was there a lot of drag queenery in ancient Greece? I know there was at the fall, during the fall of Rome. That was a thing, which is concerning. Maromi says, haven't seen Darth Bancroft in a while. Yeah, I mean, this is my normal winter drawing uniform. and if it's summer, I'm not going to be like this. So Darth Bogantus comes around every year, like Santa, bearing gifts. Henry Thrune says, God doesn't put up with perversions for long. And people as well, I imagine. I mean, I've never been interested in the Olympics anyway. And that's, funnily enough, I'm not interested in the Olympics because school always pushed the Olympics on us so hard. And they always, because I guess they were trying to, it's like, oh, this is an excuse to do Olympic themed projects. And it was just a chore to me. So I always associated the Olympics with a chore. You have to do work. So I was never a fan of it anyway, but now it's like, okay, I see this is just another multi-institutional corporate World Economic Forum excuse to push degeneracy, normalize that sort of stuff. So and being from Melbourne has a huge kind of drag scene, and no one ever had a problem with it. No one ever thought about it. You know why? Because they had their own little clubs, in kind of hipster areas that if you wanted to go to, you could go to. If you didn't, you never had to see it. And at least then they had the decency to know, yeah, this is a weird thing that we're doing. It's not normal. It's not for families and mainstream. And they knew that. But now they're adding esports to the Olympics. Oh my God. And plus there's no rollerblading. Exactly, Citizen Ronan. They even took rollerblading out of the X Games. And rollerbladers started the X Games. That's a kick in the teeth. Mo says Stabber McGee was a well-known performer in the local scene. No, we always have a funny story. We were in one of these areas, Paran in Melbourne. Very, very hip, funky, artistic. Used to be. Now it's completely dead after COVID. But there used to be a lot of those kind of bars around there back in the day. I'm talking kind of mid-90s. And we were all on a tram. We just hear this screaming. Well, it's like yelling. We hear this yelling. It's a bit distinct. And then it becomes louder and louder, and we start actually hearing what's being said. And by now, everyone's looking, and there's this kind of drag dude, in full makeup, wig sort of flapping around, running after the tram down the street, and he's yelling, and he's, damn, I did this wrong. He's yelling in that, kind of gay voice. It's like, stop the tram, it's an emergency. Everyone found that very amusing. Never forget that. Because it was early in the morning, I think. So you don't normally see that sight at that time of day. Greetings to Dave Brink. Hello, hello, hello. We should bring up Dave's campaign, because that's how many days now? 2 days? 1 day? Let me have a look in the old calendarino. Tomorrow. Whoop, whoop. Tomorrow. Let's bring that up. Dave Brink. Genuine. There it is. Perfect 10. I have found it. Located. There it is. Perfect 10, Book 5, and Power Trip Book 2. It's a 2-for-1 deal. Well, it's not for one. It's 2 in 1. Launching tomorrow. Be here. Or don't. But do. It's going to be epic. Dave's been crushing it. Always a fun guest to have. Wow, Book 5. Killing it. Just pumping them out. He did a tweet where he's saying, you know, maybe Sydney Sweeney, Hollywood's It Girl, could play Perfect 10 in the movie adaptation. Well, you better get that optioned quick. You don't want to wait too long. Lock her down. Get it in. Get the contract done. Sign up for this. Normal bat time. Same bat channel. Hopefully we're going to get this off with a bang. We had a great launch with Embrace 2. Phenomenal, even, I would say. Just the other week. Hopefully we can replicate that. And back to scheduled programming. What are you guys saying here in the chat? We have Angela Curry in the house. We have Woodrow. Hello, hello. Henry Thrin had to go. Drag vroom vroom or drag vavavoom. Vavavoom. Not although they did, people would do some drag racing in the street. They'd probably be arrested. Rollerblading get no respect. Shit is harder than skateboarding for me. I wouldn't say it's harder. It's equal. Like people will say, the thing with rollerblading is, well, yeah, but your skates are connected to your body. How hard could it be? That just means you have to do bigger stuff. So by the time, say, for instance, Tony Hawk landed the 900, my friend actually, the few who comes onto this channel, he was the first ever person in all of extreme sports to land a 900 on a ramp. So that's pretty cool. But it's not like it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal like it was for a skateboard to do a 900. That's massive. So rollerbladers ended up doing 1260s and 1440s. You got to like take it bigger. But yeah, it's definitely not easy. And you definitely hurt yourself. What are you guys saying? What can I say? Rollerblades make my ass look amazing. It is a good workout. That is true. It is. It is actually the best cardio you can do because it does involve all muscles and core strength. So I think it's better than swimming, like cardio wise. Oh, of course, Dave. Your book looks great. Raiden Reddy says, I remember when they kept weird behaviors to themselves, but now the rollerbladers are out and out shoving their lifestyle down our throats. You're just going to have to accept it. We're here. We're rollerbladers. And we're not going to apologize. It is pretty rad. Yeah. I never landed a 900, forwards or backwards. But it wasn't for lack of trying. Yeah, like if you're a vert skater, doing a 720 is as a rollerblader is sort of like, I mean, you have to do 720s. It's not that's a thing that vert skaters do, but on a skateboard, very few skateboarders will do a 720. That's like a big deal. Whereas for rollerbladers, it's not really. Yo, Reese, what's up? Angela says rowing and rollerblading, same time killer. It's all recreation, isn't it? I'm eagerly awaiting Kirby's drawing of me on my rollerblades. It should be entertaining and horrifying at the same time, just like everything else is drawn of me. Making me go around kiss everyone, which is pretty funny. Damn. You know, this book that I'm doing here is a bit in the vein of Perfect 10, sort of. I mean, it's a chick going around getting into fights, so similar-ish. Skibidi Rizzle says, Kirby's going ham on everyone. The man is out of control. It's just his voice. It's so disarming and charming, and he laughs, and, you know, no one suspects the evil inside. He's such a good, would you call it a caricaturist or a cartoonist? I don't know. Illustrator? I don't know. His likenesses are so good. I've never been able to do that. He drew a camel. It looked exactly like camel. Everyone he draws, it looks exactly like the reference. So what can I say? You know, he drew my hulking, beefy, muscular body, just exactly the same as it is in real life. I can hear someone approaching the cottage outside. I'm wondering if it's Clark, because I have the iPad in here, and he likes to play like puzzle games in the morning. Rich is at work for another half, can only listen for the most part. All good, my friend. There's definitely someone out there banging around. Some people just have a knack for faces. Yeah, it's interesting how, you know, different people have like kind of different skill in art like that. I'm always really impressed by the people who do caricatures that they really push the face to the extreme cartoon end, and it still looks exactly like the person. Can you guys hear the birds chirping? And I suppose it is morning after all. What is that? What is that? It's not a cape. Oh, that's his leg. Okay, that makes sense. Pushing Bancroft's face to an extreme cartoon end would require an entire box of paper. Well, Rob did that, if you recall. One of, you know, another one of Rob's actually funny jokes. I mean, it's just sort of a joke of opportunity. We know his daughter would have had that butcher paper hanging around. Hang on, this is all part of her. Yeah. Do I have that video? Where do I have that? I don't know if I have that loaded up. I think I do. Oh, I do. Hold on a sec. Bancroft, did you see the changes Indiegogo is implementing? Where would I see them? Is there an update or something? All right, let me play this video. I'm gonna go investigate. Enjoy my giant head. right. I hope you enjoyed that. Look who's in the chat. King Ban. King Ban was the first ever person to ever leave a comment on a live stream on this channel. So big shout out to King Ban. We have Sumo Thori in the house, who's just yelling forward at me. It's huge. Entirely too small, I say. Amazing neck and core strength. Yes. Can you solve this problem for me, Michael? What's better, Marmite or Vegemite? That's a trick question. They're both terrible. I mean, as an Australian, I should be saying Vegemite, but it's both. They're both a yeast extract that they peel off the bottom of a friggin' beer vat. Phil says, this is what it must be like to experience cosmic horror in a Lovecraft novel. It was you, yeah. So it was you. It was Tommy, aka Comics for Everyone. It was Jay Dollar, and it was Mel. They were the first 4 people to comment on my. It doesn't sound appealing. Doesn't taste good. It doesn't smell good. John actually enjoys Vegemite in small doses. Yeah, well, that's what you have to do. People who you eat it mostly, it's a very, very thin spread, usually mixed with butter. No. It's like a tar. So it's black. It's very pungent, the smell. And it's sort of almost like molasses, but kind of skewered molasses. So you can't pour it. It's solid. It's like tar. People put it on toast. What can I say? I don't eat it. I haven't tasted Vegemite in 36 years, maybe. Butter. Yes, butter. You know butter. OG squad. Exactly. So what's going on here? Becky, Indiegogo's CEO, announces a bigger and better, bolder Indiegogo, an innovation platform that supports the full innovation lifecycle. Indie Shop is a new e-commerce marketplace to take your crowdfunding innovation. Oh, so they're making an e-commerce site to sell stuff that new product features you can pay over time. That's good. I like that. Some of this stuff is expensive. There's things on here that are thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, not that I've bought, but you can gift other people. That's cool. Cart volume discounts. All right. Pre-launch reservations. I'd be interested to see what that is. Drops and more. What's drops? Let's look. So lower platform fees. Okay, that's good. A new Indiegogo website design. I preferred their older one, but anyway, onwards and upwards. Give back grants. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Usually, whenever I see grant, I'm like, you have to sell your sob story. How is this benefiting the local minority community? Blah blah blah, or what's your sob story or anything like that. Yeah, Moses, is there any fee you can pay to not be shadow banned? They're working on that. Sumo Thori, by the way, in the midst of all this, gifts 5 glorious memberships. Thank you so much, Sumo.
You little ripper!
And Genuine Comics, Stoneman, Brady, Bull Durham, and Jake the Moose. What is this? What's this famous line from that movie? What is it? Once were warriors, we were warriors. Can't remember. But John says, in Australia, even the food can kill you. Cranberry Langer says, sounds like time for a refresher, Bancroft. Try a bit of Vegemite again. See if you still feel the same. I mean, I've smelt it in the interim, and it took me right back. But I would do it for you. I would eat some Vegemite. I drank a Foster's, and that nearly killed me. Dave is not convinced. He says Indiegogo can't even get their support useful. That is true. Okay, so it's introducing an indie shop. Curated. All right, okay. Online e-commerce marketplace offering the best products to come out of crowdfunding. In addition, you're being preferred indie shop. Right, okay. Well, anything that's curated is, I get why you'd want it to be curated, but who's doing the curating? You know what I'm saying? We have Eric the Guapo in the house. No Australian drinks Foster's, and it's barely even available here. That's a complete. It's Foster's is a Japanese company brewed in Canada, I think, or it could be the other way around. Are people in Australia excited about the Olympics? I have not heard one person talk about it. Granted, I don't really talk to that many people, but I talk to some, at work. No one said, "Oh, can't wait to see the Olympics." No. But I mean, okay, it's a fine idea, but how's it going to work? New product features, pre-launch reservations, increase launch day conversion by rewarding early supporters with guaranteed discounts and perks. Already do that. Pay over time, appeal to a broader audience by offering convenient payment options for higher perk prices. I think that's a good idea. Cart volume discounts. That's a good idea. I mean, I do that already, but I do that because I do it on my own site. So, but you can do that anyway with rewards or perks or whatever they're called. If you wanted to. Gifting. Benefit from word of mouth promotion as backers gift perks to friends and family. That's a good idea. That's like the membership gifts. Without membership gifting, probably wouldn't have any members. So thank you so much to all the membership gifters out there. You're keeping the lights on. In-demand quick launch. Keep your crowdfunding momentum going by effortlessly importing your campaign from another platform and tap into fresh. I thought they already did that. Anyway. There you go, Dave. Premium campaign support. There you go, Mo. That's it. There it is right there. That's how you pay to not be shadow banned. Gain the confidence to launch and manage a successful campaign with expert support. So yeah, pay to play. New design. Whatever. Reduced fees. So there's a 4% platform fee. Yeah, but there's 4%. Oh, campaign extension in demand fee. Okay, that's new. All right. Okay, so that maybe it isn't new. That's just like the same fee. Okay. Well, you didn't even really need to say that. Off platform in demand. I have to pay $25 as an international to have in demand on Indiegogo a month. $25 a month. And plus there's also, it's not just this platform fee, there's also the payment processing fee too. So they're trying to make it kind of like Etsy. Well, Etsy isn't curated. Anything can go on Etsy. I guess kind of like a hybrid, yeah. A hybrid crowdfunding Etsy sort of thing. It looks like they're trying to do something sort of new. It would be interesting if they do like a curated comic book. So, like, they've got it here, like travel, home, whatever. And they had like a comic book collection or something. It could almost kind of be like what CG Now could have been, but with people actually going to it. All right. It's the same with everything with this site. It sounds okay, but how are they going to implement it? And they've been pretty incompetent, especially over the last 3 years. It's been pretty dire over there. So just move to Texas, Bancroft. Is Texas the place to be? We have Elemental MJ over on Rumble says, Hal Bancroft. Hal, right back to you. Nice campaign you got there. It would be a shame if I got shadow banned. Yeah, Michael Oden, the Embrace 2 was shadow banned. Look who's in the chat. Can I share? Can I show something? I have it here. I normally don't have it here. But while you're here, Mr. Engetti, while I have you here on one of my draw streams where, as you see, nothing is happening. proof of Painted Death hardcover. Obviously, it's not very hard at the moment. Still floppy. But when you open it, you get this cool Ella. And I like it. It works horizontally just as well as vertically. And you can move it if you want. At the back, though, you might be interested in the final page. It looks a lot better in real. It's getting blasted out. You know how cameras work and lights and everything. But there you go. There you go. Can't show that. That would show the name of the third book, and that has to be a surprise for the readers because I know they care so much. Wow. It's there. It's obviously it's on the soft cover as well, and everyone gets a print of it. And some lucky few get a puzzle of it. If you want that puzzle, get it now. Jake's here. He says, I came for the nothing, but I stay for the nothing. It's obviously not that hard at the moment. Send Rod the link. Sounds like they're offering a storefront to compete with eBay and Etsy. Yeah. To combine crowdfunding and that sort of thing. But, you know, when they say curated, I'm wondering what the stipulations might be to appear in the store. Shant says, thrilled to be a part of the book, brother. It's an honor. Well, I mean, it's my honor to have the art in there. It works so seamlessly with the rest of the art in the book. And I think it'll be very cool because it's at the end. So they've just read the book and now they get to look at your piece and find all the bits that they've just seen in it. It's sort of like kind of a Where's Wally of Lucent. Thank you for sending my lost pages. Well, I'm glad you got it. We sent the last one out a couple of days ago, so good to hear. Did you get a 3D model? There was 2 with a 3D model in it, so I'm just hopefully they came out. We have to put them in a big box because there's so much stuff. Hyper Wizard says, I'm going to use those internal cover spreads for some large location shots at a sense of place the story. But I didn't have space for them. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, they did that in Gilgamesh. Where's me Gilgamesh? Hold on a sec. There's so much to the Lucent, says Shant. It's a meal of a story. Well, and you only saw it kind of half cooked too. Bancroft has a fulfillment business. Not really. I help out people who ask, who want me to ship out Australian orders for them. So never make that sound again. You like sumo. You hate my human side. Yeah, so there's the Gilgamesh bande dessinée. And yeah, you had the same thing in, so you get this kind of like, just sort of places you, you know. There's a Gilgamesh looking down over Uruk. Anyway. We have 36 people here. Thank you very much. All right, we should probably, get back to the exciting thing. All this talk about Indiegogo and other things, when really you all came to watch me lasso. Why can't I ever remember how to say that word? It's like it doesn't stick in my brain. Characters, obviously. I know what you're here for. Yeah, let's use this color. It just will never stick. It's infuriating. Lasso. Yes, exactly. Okay, so it's not lasso. I don't know why. I don't know why it never sticks. Rise and shine. I'm an hour behind, says Nomad Damon. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the quote-unquote show. You know, we all complain about the kind of more boring, mundane parts of comic book making, but they're just as much as a part of it as everything. Soon we'll be doing after the flats are done, we'll be doing the lighting. And then after that's done, probably the shadows. And then we get to the actual coloring and stuff. And you'll be able to say, I was there. I saw the whole thing take place. I saw Bancroft breathe life to this piece of art. And you'll actually say that out loud to all your friends and family. They'll be like, wow, you were there? You're so lucky. I didn't know it was happening. You have to be in the know. It's a side piece, much like Rod. What is? So we were building the hype chain for this book's release. I'm excited for it. Yeah, I think so. I think, just a slow kind of build up. There's still pages Rod needs to do, but I need to kind of get back to him on some feedback, and I've been slacking on that because I'm still handling things that need to be finished for fulfillment for Pain of Death. There's a lot of did you see the sketch cards from yesterday? I have all of these, but that's not all of them. There's still 12 or so to go. I've got to finish off Gary G's art for the cover, which is I'd say about halfway done. Things need doing. I'm only one man. I keep telling my wife that. I'm only one man. There's only so much you can expect of me. Jaro says, yeah, everyone's a gangster until it's time for flatten. Jake says, I think I got a first frog and a meter. Let me have a look. All right. So there's 2 frogs. I do love them in these little holders. Okay, so there's this frog. I don't know if you got him. Is this the one with the meter, or is it a different one? Oh no, I know the one. I think I know the one you're talking about. The one where she's sitting on the chair. I haven't done that one yet. We're doing that shortly. Oh, there's that frog. There's frog. I mean, they're both in a bucket. But that one's actually the original Flipper Jimmy. The original. But there's a second Flipper Jimmy card. And then there's... Where's Kumin Gilgamesh? That was a highly sought after card. That one sold in a second. I mean, there's Gilgamesh and Enkidu in the Embrace. I thought there was not. Maybe the Kumin Gilgamesh was on the other camp. Yeah, that was on the other campaign. On the reprint of Waking Dream. All right. Have you released a date for Fractured Mind? No, it all depends on how long this takes me. To color 30 odd pages, it would be great if I could launch with you in October. For Cocktober, that would be epic. But I don't have to have it all done, but if the majority of it's done, that's cool. So that would be. It's so refreshing to work on a book that isn't 100 friggin' pages. But that's still a lot to sort of figure out. And is Rod too big for Cocktober? it would all work. It would fit into place, wouldn't it? And it'd be a good excuse to sort of try and sell overstock of the current campaign and stuff like that. So would you launch Vinny Tyler Mellor's book if he asked you, if he wanted to? I haven't seen Vinny in since the Shadow of the Kraken book. I was always very friendly with Vinny. Hang on, is that his shoulder goes? I feel like, yeah, no, there's still his arm there. It's just hidden by, okay. Sometimes I have to interpret Rod's work here, given of course that I didn't draw it. He's doing another art book. Here's a question for you guys. So Skunk is working on a kids book, so an illustrated kids book. What do you think about that? Is that interesting to anyone? I did ask him. I said, "What's the sort of what's the kind of buzz around it? Do you have many signups? What's this?" And he hasn't gotten back to me yet. But I know we've done novels. We've launched a couple of novels. We've launched some different, or at least we've promoted some different kind of things in comics. But Eric says, "I'm not a kid." Yeah, but you might know kids. You might have kids. I don't know. I didn't know if there's any bad blood. I don't think I have bad blood with anyone. People might have bad blood with me. But there are a few scant people that I probably wouldn't promote, only because of previous interactions. Nothing like that with Vinny. Vinny has always been very professional with me. Oz says, "I will back a kid's book. I'll read it to my grandson." And Reese says, "My kid is old." Sumo says, "I have bad blood with Bancroft." Yeah, but that's because I torment you, Sumo. That's on me. Or maybe we torment each other for laughs. God, flatting takes forever. Who invented this? I've always said the moment AI can figure out how to do this, I'm signing up. I don't care, because there's no way that an AI flatter is stealing anyone else's art. It really is a mechanical process. And people have tried to come up with programs that do it, but they always end up being more time consuming than just doing it yourself. Everyone always says, "Oh, I found this new flatting thing." I'm like, yeah, I'll see. If you're doing a kid's book, you have to be extra careful with the title. It looks like it's a bunch of animals. And it's the thing is, it's Skunk artwork, so it's amazing art. So people might just want to buy it just for the art as well. So I am inclined to say yes. I just sort of want to know a bit more about it, and also, what you guys think about it. Voice actors have gone on strike because of AI. I don't blame them. The AI voice over is rampant on YouTube Shorts now, and they're pretty good. You can almost not hear it sometimes, but then one word and you're like, "Oh yeah, okay, that's not a human." Yeah, I don't blame him. Marcus says children's books often have great art. Yeah, I've be reading a book to my kids and like, oh man, I would actually love to see a comic in this style. Was What the Wizards a kid's book? I believe it was, but that was a comic. It was a comic for kids. This is an actual children's book. Like I'm guessing like a hardcover kids book. It's not a comic. There's text in it. Maromi says, I hate that generic AI voice they all use. Yeah, I think that's old generation though. The newer ones, they're pretty sophisticated. So I am not surprised they're striking. That's the world now, unfortunately. And I don't know what can be done about it. I hope someone can figure something out. Oz says American voice actors localizers are commies and deserve bad things. Subs, dubs. I don't really follow that controversy, but I've watched a few videos of anime creators calling them out. Mo says it's too early for Weeb Thursday. Yeah, we've moved beyond Weeb Thursday. We've snuck in beforehand. Mo says there are 3 solutions: E, M, and P. Well, remember we did the Pum Kids one as well. I'm pretty sure that was a kid's book too. So it's not. I'm not against the idea of it. I just I don't know what the mood is out there for this sort of stuff. The interest, If only the music AI was able to sing better than Carnal the Barbarian. Get ready, it's coming. But yeah, that perfect pitch thing you're talking about, Maromi, yeah, that's a problem as well. But they do that to actual singers too. They change their pitch so they have perfect pitch throughout the song. I was watching a video on it, how it's completely different how it's ever been done in the past, and that's sort of one of the small reasons why everything sounds so bland and overproduced. It's because you get people analyze the music, and yeah, all the singers have perfect pitch throughout the entire song. It just sounds so fake. Not fake, but because it is real people singing, but just so overly manufactured. There's no spontaneity, or it kind of lacks a human roughness to it. A lot like in comic book art, a lot of people prefer there to be a bit loose and gritty, and King Ben says they use pitch correction live now too, even in churches. It's bizarre. Soulless, says Osgreat said. Yes. Oh, right. Pump kids. Yes, that reminds Moses. That reminds me of the earlier comment on my extra careful with the title. Yes. Very true. I did wonder what you were referring to there. I mean, I could check. I have the technology. He sent me a DM just the other day. Where is he? Our friend Skunk. He sent me some photos too. And yeah, it's Skunk Artworks. It looks amazing. It's in, his black and white kind of paint style. It looks friggin' awesome. It's like lions, tigers, bunnies, wolves. I guess it's a story about some bunnies speaking with a lion. Does he say the name of it? Oh, it's there. All right, he's got a launch page for it. We didn't even have to speculate. It's right there. You can sign up. Does he have any art on it? Okay. It's called The Splash. What are you running from? A hand-painted children's book about the choices that shape our lives. Two rabbits spread panic throughout the forest. All the other animals begin to flee their once quiet home, following the rabbits in this ride. That makes sense. The Splash. Is that okay? I think it's fine. I would also just like that as a title. What are you running from? It actually reminds me of a book I think I've read where yeah, I don't know if it's bunnies, something like that. Yeah, where something drops into a pond and the rabbits start running, and yeah, it reminds me of that, and then everyone else starts following. There you go. Sign up. Elemental says, ironically, my 11-year-old niece is more into adult horror and dark themes. He says, I think CG needs to reach more kids and teens. I like the effort. Yeah, people have tried. They just never really seem to have taken off that much. Kind of more all ages sort of stuff. They haven't done poorly, just not, it's never been massive. Oz says, when I poop, my D touches the water. Splash. I don't think it's referring to that, Oz. I think it's something a little less disturbing on multiple levels. The water in a toilet, in an American toilet, is so much higher, the water level. It's like a pool in there. I wonder what Americans think when they come to Australia and they see what we've going on in our toilets, and they think, where's all the water? Compared to theirs. I was a bit surprised. I was like, damn, that's a lot of water in there. It's like a little swimming pool. Moses, so it's about two rabbits. The Pumpkids version of the title would be Two Nice Buns. I was the same in China, high water. Yeah. Someone says, Bear leaving skid marks all over Aussie bathrooms. Well, no, but if that were to take place, there's a toilet brush. I'm saying it's never happened. And Americans are always asking about our swirling toilets when the flush doesn't even swirl. We didn't fall for the low flow scam. Yeah, that was an Australian invention too, by the way, the low flow. I guess we were just trying to make money off you. Mel got to say low flow shower head. I want to feel like I'm standing underneath a waterfall in the shower, you know? I want it to hurt on my back. It's just comes down like a mist. You know? Especially when it's cold and you're trying to get trying to luxuriate a little bit under that hot water and But there was a bad drought here in the early 2000s. It lasted a long time. It lasted probably a decade. It was because of the I think it was El Nino, but it could have been the other one. Anyway, it was just super dry here in Australia, and everyone, you know, they built the desalination plant that they never used, I don't think. But it was all about conserving water. That's all that came in. No swirl. Must not be a real place. Oh, it's real. It comes in like this. It's like more like a wave than a swirl. Jaro says, I thought the toilets in the US were clogged first time I saw how high the water was. Yes. Yeah, if the water's that high here, you got an issue. Well, what happens if it doesn't fall from the sky, Mo? That's the question. I don't know if it's so El Nino. It's La Nina and El Nino. I don't know if it's that cyclical. Like it might be a bit. It might be. Don't take my word for it. I thought it was more like, you know, some last 5 years, some last 10 years, some last 15. I don't know. Either way, sometimes they're bad and sometimes they're very mild, but they've been quite mild. They haven't really had much of an impact on the climate here since the drought broke. Well, Mo says, what happens if it doesn't fall from the sky? Asked Bancroft, moments after lamenting the lack of use of a local desalination plant. Well, the desal plants they're sort of older technology. They're very costly and they're very energy inefficient. So yeah, they're really just because they don't want to build dams because, you know, they're greenies essentially. All of this should be completely moot in terms of energy if we had what we always should have had here in Australia is nuclear energy. And it was like God placed on Earth a single continent that was purpose built for nuclear energy. And the people there were so stupid that they just refused to even have a discussion about nuclear energy. You can't even discuss it in Australia. It's like taboo because it's just like an evil. We have this pristine land that we can't besmirch with this terrible, awful, dirty nuclear energy when it's just a massive propaganda thing. Australia is smack bang in the middle of a continental plate, strategically very secure and safe. There's more empty land in Australia than you could ever hope. So you could even just drive out an hour or two, into the center, and yeah, you'll be in an area where you could bury waste. And I think the waste these days is tiny anyway, so it doesn't even matter. There's very few earthquakes. We've got more uranium than we know what to do with. We ship all our uranium to everyone else who's using nuclear energy. And anyway, China actually apparently just built a nuclear power plant that cools down by itself. So I don't know. Hopefully it's not too far around the corner, but it's frustrating. Yeah, we pay so much for energy here because they're trying to close down all the gas plants. Well, they are. And they're trying to go wind and solar, and with all it's causing is just it's skyrocketing. Like businesses go out of business because where they used to get a $2,000 energy bill, now they get a $25,000 energy bill. It's just not sustainable. Anyway, enough of my grumbling. You will owe nothing. Get in the pod. Yeah. Not to mention cushy jobs for guys like Rob with no reason to fear potential mutation. He could dispose of all. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was kind of The Simpsons that really popularized the whole fear, which is unfortunate. I mean, I suppose I don't hold it against them, but it really did set a lot of it back. Slavic One says, I heard you can buy a house in Japan for 30,000. Yep, and you can buy a house in France for like 50,000. Get a nice cottage in the country somewhere for 50 to 80 grand. You couldn't buy a parking spot in Melbourne for that. I assume. The problem with Japan is I don't speak Japanese. Why are the houses in France so cheap? Because people don't want to live in the country. So in Australia, people can't. It's harder to live in the country as well, but there's just not enough houses, so it's still super expensive. There's no real There's a small difference, but not really. Whereas you might pay 1.5, 2 million for a house in the city or near the suburbs, you'll pay 1 million or 1.2 in the country. I guess there's not much option. I mean, if you really go out super rural in the middle of nowhere, yeah, you could get a house for probably 300,000 or 400,000 or something. But you basically got to. You're really living off the land at that point. The nearest civilization where you can get any kind of supplies is a 3 or 4 hour drive or something. Kramer Lang says because you have to live next to the immigrants. Well, that's the thing, and they're not. It's not a huge issue in countryside. It's more of like a city thing. But still, it's not a non-issue. All the immigrants live in Paris, don't they? They live in all the major cities. And there's quite a few big cities in France. But I'm talking, out in the beautiful countryside. far away from all that. And it's you know, yeah, you're going to be a little bit isolated, but there's still stuff around, you know, maybe within an hour's drive or something like that. Maybe at less, 30 or 40 minutes. Mo says, imagine having to go into the city for supplies and have to deal with double snootiness for not only having the gall to not be French, but also being provincial. It's true. It's spit in my what would I drink? What do French people drink? They'd spit on my croissant. Cranberry Lang is just trying to whine about all the rapists, murderers, and destroyers of the French culture. They keep voting for it. What can you do? I mean, I don't know when they're going to have had enough, but hopefully not decades away. It's probably, I don't know, 10 years away. They're going to actually, the majority are going to wake up. And of course, it's going to be a whole lot of people who previously voted against Le Pen and all those people, you know. Once it's at your doorstep, yeah. Oh, I forgot his hat. Hang on. That's a paper. Okay. Is spit on my croissant a euphemism? Jake says, I must escape to England. Dude. Oh my God. I saw that. I mean, I don't know where in England you live, but I saw some of the craziness going on over there. I mean, this whole areas of England that are just lost. Just lost. No longer England. It's like what happened in Spain back in the Moorish invasions. You know, it took something like 400 years to eventually rout it all. Oh, it says the Irish will stand up first. Yeah, I'm seeing some. They're already out on the streets. And the Irish have always been a bit like that. I mean, they went to war. They've been at war for, you know, over 100 years just to keep their Irishness. So I wouldn't imagine they would give up without a fight. Whereas the English have a colonial guilt. That's what's holding them back. Is the north of England still English? I don't know. You'd have to ask. I'm not really sure about that. It's the same in France. There's this whole areas, you know, no-go zones and places where, yeah, you're not really safe just walking around as a Frenchman, or especially a French woman. There was a unfortunate, very unfortunate incident just recently. An Australian tourist got culturally enriched. It's down by the Moulin Rouge, and Mel's like, she's just walking around in the middle of the night in the worst part of Paris by herself. And I said, yeah, like people go to Paris thinking it's Amelie. You know, they have no idea, and they don't believe the they don't believe the racists, you know, that there's actually a problem with this stuff over there. But yeah, there really is. You know, unfortunately, she found out about it. It's awful. We got Jason in the house. He's on his phone at work, swinging by to say hi. Mo says the North is British. They like to drink water and watch. Clark always says that. He still says that. Want to watch Predator? And he also says Peaky Blinders. Jake says it's very nice where I live, but everywhere is one government board decision away from a massive demographic shift. Slavic one. I saw pictures of the French Olympic teams. I did not see many French people on any of them. That's how it is. And that's the infuriating thing is in the Anglosphere, the word indigenous is used by minorities to kind of, you know, lionize minorities and, you know, and sort of like place them in a special place of ownership over the land or whatever. But in Europe, it's blasphemy. You can't even use the word indigenous to refer to the indigenous people of that land because they're white. How can you be indigenous if you're white? But they are, you know, they've lived there for, depending on the region, you know, sometimes probably going back 100,000 years. I think in England it's like 10 or 12,000 or something, but still, I mean, that's indigenous. And that they've done the DNA. The indigenous population of the island of Great Britain has stayed pretty stable, you know, over the last 10,000 years. There is an indigenous people of that land, but that they just it's never framed like that. A true British geezer. How the North in it. Exactly. They even have their own language. So quaint. Aren't we all related to Tutankhamun and Genghis Khan? I saw that. I didn't want to, I don't know. You just see something on Twitter and you can't really believe it until you sort of see other people talking about it. But I did see that they were running DNA on Tutankhamun, but didn't he die really young? I don't know. They were saying he was, you know, mostly related to a European stock. But I saw reliefs. I saw paintings of him on the inside of his burial chamber. He looked kind of dark, but that might have just been, you know, that just might be how they painted him. I don't know. Genghis got all the women. Yeah. I think there's something like a huge percentage of Asians are related to Genghis Khan, descended from Genghis Khan. I do think that's a thing. He quite the horses and rode off on the women. He pruned the hedges of many small villages. He was 19 when he died. Yeah, that's what I thought. Clark is really into Egyptian stuff. Is that? I think that's all her. And it is. Yeah, that is. So we watch, you know, them discovering chambers and all that sort of stuff. He was 19. I don't know. I guess that's time to spread your royal oats. Not much time. Sumo says, what are you saying about my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother? She was a lovely lady, a virtue true. That's all. We got timescales in the house. Greetings from California. Headed to San Diego Comic-Con tonight for 2 days of fun. I hope you have a lot of fun over there. Enjoy the sights, all the delights. Mo says, how much disingenuous honor is paid to one's indigenous status is proportional to how easy they would be to conquer. I think there might be some truth to that. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I guess a lot of it was inevitable, because of the different technologies. The Native Americans, I don't actually really know too much about it. Were they easy to conquer? I thought they put up a pretty good fight, but maybe that was just a fight of attrition and it was always going to happen. I've also heard, but I don't know, you could confirm this for me, that Native Americans as a demographic are pretty based now, but I could be completely wrong on that. Cranberry Langer says, I'm Native American. I was born and come from other Americans. Native American is a progressive term. What is the correct term for people who were living there when the Europeans came? I don't know any other term. Indigenous Americans? Indigenous? American Indian? Feather, not dot. The feathers. They don't use the term Aboriginal there. I think they use that up in Canada, don't they? They've started using First Nations and that sort of jargon down here as well. They never used to do that. They're just trying to like gleam onto the successes that they're seeing in other countries with browbeating people. Mo says the tribes who were more difficult to defeat were honored more genuinely by naming attack vehicles after them. And sports teams honored for all time. Pastor Stan says Indian comes from Latin Indios, which is... Oh, Tobo's in the house. What is up, my friend? Great to see you here. When your enemies celebrate you, you were a badass. That's the way I see it as well. Lots of towns on Long Island are named after the native tribes that lived there. Yeah, I've actually watched a video on how a lot of American towns and cities got their names and states. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. A lot of it is, from European lordship. A lot of it is from that, just to kind of settled it. We have tons of Aboriginal name places here, even around me. So there's Moorabbin, Aboriginal name, Warrigal, Aboriginal. What else is around me? Warrandyte, I think. Maybe. Dandenong. Any word that sort of sounds like that, you can be assured it's an Aboriginal place name. Kramer Lang says, it's not cowboys and Native Americans. I suppose you got a point. Skibidi Riz says, India is not named India anymore. It's Bharat now. Is that true? Oh, what's going on? So Indians, non-American Indians, don't even want India to be named India anymore. Oh, okay. Was that a British thing that it was called India? I thought it was called India because of the Indus River, but that could have just been a complete assumption on my part and be completely wrong. I've got no idea. Frankston definitely isn't an original Aboriginal name. No, I wouldn't think so. Or as we call it around here, Franga, of course. I haven't been down to Franga in a while. Maromi says, Jeep Cherokee. Yes, that's one of them. The Comanche helicopter. Timescale says, it's nearly impossible for anyone to confirm that they are Native American because their DNA was not saved. Are there no existing, wasn't that long ago, was it? I remember photo. I could be completely off. Surely there's some pure bloods out there on some tribal land somewhere. Cranberry says, yes, it's from the Indus River. Skibidi Rizza says, I was attached to an aviation base and got to see Apaches and Cobras up close, did company runs on the airships. That's cool. What was that TV show with the attack helicopter back in the day? I still love that. Oh my God, I'm totally missing all of Elemental's comments on Rumble. Oh, my apologies. He says 3% of Asian or perhaps of all the world is related to Genghis Khan. How baller is that? 0.5 to 1% of the world's male population carries a Y chromosome linked to Genghis. 8% of men living within former Mongolian Empire share identical DNA. And on women, I wasn't off with the 3%. Genghis. Getting it done for future generations. Putting the harem to work. Airwolf, it had the best and what was Air? I'm going to listen to this. I'm sure it'll be fine. Airwolf. Yes. Airwolf theme song. Intro. All right. Hold on. Hi, Jake says, just dig up some ancient Indian burial grounds. Nothing can go wrong. Well, if television has led me to believe that, yes. The Simpsons, you know. Mo says, Bancroft and Rob would be perfect for the job. It could be a season finally of their ghost hunting show. What's that? Oh, for the ancient Indian burial. We don't have many ancient Indian burial grounds here, though. We probably could go down to Tasmania and find some not so ancient Aboriginal burial sites. I don't know if that would be very politically correct. All right. I don't really remember this, but let's go. I'm gonna indulge in some nostalgia. All right. Hang on. Look at that guy. I don't remember him on his phone. With the Mo. Massive phone. You know what the difference is with these old shows and today is old people were on TV. Look at Ernest Borgnine. How old is he? I mean, he was probably 40 back in the 80s. But you know, they just like this is a show with like men, older men. I even noticed that on Next Generation. They're all old except for Wesley. They're all adults. Whereas you don't get that on now these days. Everyone's a young adult or a very young man or young woman. What was this? Do you remember what it was? Do you remember Blue Thunder? Is that a TV show? Can I look for that? Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder theme song. All right, let's see if I remember this. Okay.
Mavericks.
Yes, I play ads. I don't have ad block. It was a helicopter show. All right, let's see if I remember it. $1984. Okay, it's possible. Yes, we do. I don't remember seeing this. Look, again, they're all, you know, middle-aged to kind of older. I still got to say, is that Dana Carvey? I had no idea. Mr. Mo. Huh? It's always the look. Huh? It's Steve. This guy's name is Thumper. Oh, Bubba. Bubba. Look at these graphics. That's great. Yeah. No, I've never seen that. That man's name is pronounced Dick Buttkiss. Dana Carvey's sons streamed my video game, but they were too stoned to figure it out. Oh. Was it really Dick Buttkiss? I didn't see that. All right. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that. I remember I used to watch Knight Rider. I used to watch. My mother tells me I was a massive fan of Dukes of Hazzard, but I don't remember it. She said you were obsessed with it. You would watch it every day, and I was like, oh, I don't remember that. But yeah, Knight Rider, that was the show for me. Transformers. That wasn't a joke. That's really how you say his name. All right. The A-Team. Oh, that's a classic. That is a classic. We got Rand Nada over on Rumble. How you going, Rand? What did I get up to? I think I'm done for the morning. But let's see if anything was actually achieved. Redneck Croft. Do you remember Manimal? No. I don't remember Manimal, but yeah, A-Team. I liked Face. I remember on A-Team. He was my favorite. You know, when you're a kid, you have to be a guy, especially if you've got siblings. You're like, I'm Face, you're Hannibal. You know, like you assign characters to the. You know, when we were the Turtles, I was Donatello. My older brother was Leonardo, and my younger brother was Raphael. I don't know why kids do that. It's just like, that's your guy. Elliot Skibidi Riddler was Murdoch. Yeah, see, we just do that. Kids, and they still do it. They still do it. I love it when a plan comes together. I was Great Sage. It's all about Mr. T. I pity the fool. I liked Murdoch because he was playing Nintendo when they broke him out of the asylum. Mo says when Bancroft's brother's friend wanted to portray B.A., Bancroft promptly set him ablaze. No, that wasn't what happened. I swear. It wasn't just an accident, all right? It was an accident. Tex Zombie says, I played Mr. T as a kid. It was easy to get away with blackface back then. What up, Neff? So, ostensibly, I've been flatting, but I don't know. I did a little bit getting there. I'll no doubt finish this page off in front of a episode of Next Generation full of old people. I never noticed that, and that just confirms that TV used to have people who were 40 to 70 on it, and now like you get one of them, and it's mostly people who are 18 to 30. It's changed. It's all about youth now, and we're worse off for it. This is, what's Rand saying? He's just giving me the, you know, there's very few Vulcans in Next Generation, I noticed. 3 seasons in, I don't think I've seen a single Vulcan. I don't know what's up with that. What was I doing here? I wanted to show off this before we leave. See how bright it is now? That's the morning sun coming in. It was dark when I started. That's how early it was. It was dark out. Perfect 10, Book 5, and Power Chip. Oh, I said to Phil that I would read The People tomorrow, but I won't. I will be launching this. I'll do the People next week. I'll do that next Friday. We'll read them together because we're launching this tomorrow. Perfect 10, Book 5, and Power Trip Book 2. Make sure you're signed up. There's an early bird special. I don't know what it is, but yeah, this looks rad. Always, I think the art's actually getting better on these things, so it might be time for me to finally jump in. The water is warm. See what this Perfect 10 lady is all about. Squiddy Red says, Vulcans are the diversity hire of the Federation. They're like founding members. I suppose so. Banker had a crush on Angela Lansbury, confirmed. 1980 was peak TV and music. It was the peak of humanity, says Timescales. I don't disagree. Comic books as well. You can, like, this is, if you want a puzzle, I mean, it's now or never. I might check now and see that the Kickstarter money has come in. If so, I'm ordering these things. So if you want a puzzle, get it now. If you haven't got the book, I mean, it's really the shortest amount of time you have to wait. They're at the printer. So fulfillment begins very, very soon. All right, everyone. I hope you had a good time streaming with me this morning. I'll no doubt see you all out there in the chats of various shows. But until next time, until tomorrow, have a good day. All right, guys. Bye.
Perth made an Australian video, and I wasn't even in it.
Emotional damage.